Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive Black Panther, which may just be the coolest Black Panther figure yet. We've gotten quite a few lately, some of them pretty cool, some of them not so much, but this one definitely stands out amongst the rest. It's a comic version, and it's got a pretty cool paint job, so let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 16.5 centimeters, which makes him just about a little bit over 6.5 inches. And you probably heard me mention just a second ago that it is a comic version, and we've gotten a few of those lately, but none of them really stand out quite like this. This one obviously has this really cool pinkish purple paint job, and it's done particularly well. Most of it is really clean. The only issue I really have on mine is right down the center. Unfortunately, it is front and center, but it's a little bit kind of understandable. I mean, I would definitely prefer it not be there, but it's definitely a really solid paint job all the way around. Very well done. Even around the back, no real issues. Otherwise, unfortunately, he is basically just a solid black hunk of plastic, which it's okay. It would have been nice to have a little bit of maybe some purple shading on there to go with this, but it's definitely okay. I mean, it is supposed to be a solid black character, so that's no big deal. They did do a good job with the eyes, so that's nice. So speaking of eyes, we have a few accessories. We have two interchangeable heads. We have the one head with the line work and the yellow eyes, and then we have what's basically the exact same head, but with no line work and white eyes, which is very nicely done. The eyes are lined up pretty well. We have a total of 4 hands, 2 fist hands, and then 2 kind of like claw hands, but not really claw hands. And then we have 2 pink fireballs that go over his fists, and those look pretty cool. Always nice to have bonus accessories, and energy effect ones are even better than just normal accessories. And then lastly, we do have what you could consider an accessory, that being the necklace, which is pretty nicely done. It'll probably come warped in the package, but just dunk it in some hot water. It'll go right back to shape, no problem. Alright, so the other good thing to mention about this guy is it's using a really good base body. We don't see this body very often, and it does have a few issues which I will point out as we go, but it is definitely one of the better bodies we've seen. Hasbro, for some reason, has this issue where some of their bodies are really good, and then some are really terrible. Luckily, this one is just, it's almost everything you could want out of it. It's really nicely done. So let's go ahead and run through the articulation. The head is on a hinge and a ball peg, which works nicely. He can look up no problem at all. He can look down all the way. He can rotate his head from side to side, of course. There is play, so you can give him a little bit of extra attitude if you want to. You don't really have too much lollipop syndrome. The head does sit a little bit high, but the way it's sculpted, it works out well enough. There's really no gapping or anything, so that's fine. You just get a little bit better mobility, so that's pretty good. For the shoulders, we did have an issue with these shoulders the first time around, but you have your full rotation, and as long as you make sure you tuck them in all the way, you can raise them up better than horizontal, so no issues there. The one issue, and it's not really too much of an issue, and you can kind of see how I was able to force the arm down? They don't naturally want to do that. You kind of have to lift up on the joint and kind of force it, but you can get the arms all the way down. So it's not really an issue. It's just something to be aware of. If you just go like this, they're not going to want to go. You kind of have to coax them into place. And then, well, that one still didn't go very far. So it's like a half issue. Let's call it that. For the bicep swivel, no problems there. Double jointed elbows, no problems there. We have, of course, our wrist swivel since they're interchangeable hands. And we have our hinge. No issues there. We can lean the body back 1 notch. It's not the best ab crunch in the world. It's not really fully sculpted in there, and it's not totally flush, but it works well enough. And then you can go like 1.5 notches forward, and it works pretty fine. No real big deal there. That's pretty good. Waist twist is fine. The hips go really far forward. They do fling out to the side just a little bit as you go past horizontal, but it's pretty good. No big deal. And out to the side, yeah, not the best. Definitely could be better, especially for somebody like Black Panther. That would be desirable, but it's not terrible. It's not like he's super limited, so I'll say it's okay. We do have a thigh swivel. This is the issue here. The double jointed knee, they did not fix it. Look at all that extra meat hanging down right here. You can see it so obviously. They so wanted to sculpt wrinkles at the knees that they killed the articulation. I don't get that. Granted, it's easy to fix if you wanted to take an X-Acto knife to it, but do that at your own risk, of course, and with parental supervision if you're just a kid. But yeah, it's not a good idea for them to limit the articulation so much. It's just better than 90, and we've had better than that basically for, what, 15 years now? So probably more than that. What? When did Legends start? I don't know. It's been a while. We do have a shin swivel right here, which if you like those, they're fine. If you don't like them, don't use them. They do line up nicely, so no big deal. And then for the ankle, we can bring the foot pretty far forward and all the way back, and you do get your ankle rocker out of this guy, and it's a pretty good one. It doesn't kick it off at too much of an angle. So yeah, it's a really solid figure, not just pretty solid, really solid. They did a good job with the paint. It is a really good base body. We have a good batch of accessories, and the articulation, with the exception of the knees being pretty limited and the hips maybe could be a little better. The shoulder's kind of iffy. It's probably one of the better releases they've done lately, especially for being a comic design. We know they generally knock the movie designs out of the park. Comic ones have been pretty kind of just like backburnered, but this one's really solid, so I definitely recommend it. I think you guys are going to like it. It's a really good build. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it comes with a bunch of accessories, all at the same old price point as normal. Can't pass it up. Make sure you track one down. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.